it, where's the family members? Well, I mean, like, I'm not gonna grab a actual person in my family, like, wake them up at, let's see, 11:24 p.m. and then say, yo, let me just roast you for a video. Like, no, I'm not gonna flame someone that's trying to take actual rest. I'm going to flame people that I meet, like, that I met, and I just wanted to do this video because I've been doing it to Chewy, and yeah, I asked him if he had anyone, and I started flaming them too. But so let me just tell you, alright, not trying to be mean. All of the like when I'm not trying to be mean. It's just, I swear to God, babies are the most annoyingest pieces of crap in the world. Like, if I meet one in real life, you can do you can do anything, and they will start blaming and crying and everything. But then if you touch them once, I mean, if they punch you 400 times, they'll laugh, and if you hit them once, they'll start crying immediately. And then the Karen on the other side of the room that heard you punching one, but they didn't hear you, like, almost dying to a baby, but they heard a baby cry for 3 seconds, the Karen will come into the room and start saying, you should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, I should be ashamed of myself for self-defending myself. Like, I should really stop doing that, and most people should too. Yeah, like, no, I'm not ashamed of self-defending myself. Like, if a baby is going to punch me, I have to do it back. I don't care if he looks like the freaking TikTok dogs that have the shortest hair ever. I don't care if he looks like that. I have to self-defend. Like, if a dog about to kill me, I have to self-defend. Just because it's a dog doesn't mean I'm doing animal abuse. I'm actually helping myself. Like, if I would not just rather die than have myself self-defended. Like, no, I'm not gonna rather die than that. No. Second thing, and let me go back to this, like, actual story. This not actually happened, but I'm just saying. Like, I'm actually playing right now, so I can talk about the game, but I'm not. I'm just talking about this. Like, every time I meet a baby, or my parents want me to meet a kid, like, they say, do you want to meet this kid? I'm like, not, like, they put me in front of him, like, no, I don't really want to meet this guy. And you're like, you should be ashamed. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I should be ashamed for you asking me a question I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to meet someone that I never heard of. And then the parents come in and be like, yeah, do you remember me? I saw you when you were a baby. I'm like, yeah, I totally remember you. Like, when I was, like, 10 years ago. Yeah, I totally remember the person out of the 500 moms and 30 doctors. Yeah, I totally remember exactly, like, you. Like, I totally remember you. Like, I don't remember anyone else, just you. I don't even know my mom. I just know you. And then, like, I'm like, I guess, like, no, like, I just say yes because I don't know what else to say. And they're like, oh, good, then do you remember what I was doing? I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to remember what I was doing? Like, how am I supposed to remember what I was doing 10 years ago when I just came out of a mom's stomach, all felt, like, covered in blood, and looked like I still had my umbilical cord. I'm not pretty sure that's what you call it. And then they're like, do you still remember him? Like, I just came out of a stomach. Am I supposed to remember you? Or something? Like, is this part of a test? Like the Fitness Grand Pacer test? Like, what? And then, another thing. I go to my dad's house in a company. And, I really hate company. Not because I hate people, I just hate company. Because they invade your private property that you're not trying to show them. Like, they come into your room and you're like, oh, how you doing? And then they stay in there for 6 hours and you can't talk to your friends. If you talk to them, like, wait, are you talking to someone? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm talking to my online friends because I can't make any in real life. And they're like, well, you should go out. I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I literally never want to go outside in my life. And they're like, why? I'm like, oh, I don't know, because I decided in my mind I don't want to go anywhere. And They're like, but you should. It's real. I don't care if I should. I said I don't want to. If I don't want to, Karen, then I don't have to. Same thing with the manager shit you do. If they don't want to show you your manager because you're accusing them of being a piece of shit for no reason, then they don't have to because they didn't do anything. Second of all, if I ever come like to a point where I don't have enough money, so I become like a, say, Burger King or McDonald's or whatever you want to call it. So like if it comes to that point that there's a Karen coming into my store for 6 years accusing me just because they wanted a refill and I didn't give them to it because you need to pay money and they didn't, or they want to get free food because I messed up their order even though they ate it 6 times already and got 7 refills, yeah, I'm not going to give them free food. Like, the entire point of a restaurant is making money from people giving you money so they can get food and eat so they can survive, not to go up to someone and accuse them and then say they're gonna get fired the next day. Like, no, that's not the point. So this is basically what I would do. I would actually, like, I might honestly do this. I might just become like a Burger King, you could say, worker, and then just for fun become a cashier, or yeah, a cashier. And just every person that comes into the place and starts being, like, accusing me for being a piece of crap, I'm just gonna start accusing them for being a piece of shit just because I didn't give them free food. That doesn't mean I'm a piece of shit. And then they'll be like, I'm gonna make your manager make you quit. Yeah, I did this just to see how many Karens would come in, lady. And I'm like, so you're calling me a Karen? That's not even my name. I'm like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know your name? Like, I never met you in real life. When am I supposed to know your name? And like, you just met me right now. I'm like, I never even. Do you know my name? No. I'm like, how do you not know my name? I don't know. I never even you never even told me. I'm like, same for you, bitch. Like, I will flame anyone that wants to do it. This is what happens on play dates to me. I'm not. It's basically when someone comes over and they literally like do anything, like you start crying and tell their mom, and then they get pissed and start acting like a Karen. Yeah, if that happens to you, and then they can punch you 30 times in the head and go into the wall like Eminem trying to punch Rihanna in the Love the Way You Lie song. Yeah, if they do that, and then they don't care and they start laughing, yeah, like, you can go tell your mom and he'll be like, oh, well, don't do that. And you're like, piece of shit, you just fucking accused me for saying boo, but you can't help your own son that you made from your body, from him getting punched in the face 30 times into the brain. Oh, okay. And you do nothing. Like, tell me who does that? Like, your parents do that, because, like, I swear to God, it's so annoying. Because you just want to flame them, but if you say one word, that's me, like, shut, they'll just start crying harder than when a 3-year-old loses their mom. Like, that's how much they'll cry. And, another one is people that are just being annoying. Like, I'm gonna talk about babies again. They're just annoying, and really annoying. If I had to explain them in 3 words, it would be annoying, annoying, and annoying. And disgusting, actually. Not meaning in a harsh way. I mean, like, they literally, like, will use the spoon backwards on their cereal in the morning, and then they'll use a fork on soup just for fun. I mean, they'll use it because they're dumb. And then if you're like, why are they doing this? The mom will be like, because they're so young, they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, yeah, I know that. It's just fucking disgusting. And I'm like, well, you have to sit here and eat. I'm like, can I sit on the couch? I'm like, no. And then I see 600 people on the couch. I'm like, why are they sitting there? Oh yeah, because they're actually, like, and then they don't know what to say. I'm like, so let me sit there. And they're like, just no, you can't sit there. I'm like, so what in the entire world do you have to say if I went over there and sat there just to eat? I'm like, Like, that's basically what happens. Every single family gathering, I stay in my room, and everyone's like, why don't you come out, like every time someone comes over, like, why don't you come in here and sit here? I'm like, I'm playing my game, and they're like, come on, just come. I'm like, I don't want to, miss. And they're like, why, you should be nice to your people that come over. I'm like, well, I'm trying to tell you no to a question you asked, Karen. Like, I swear I hate company. Yeah, I just hate company. And if someone asks why, I just don't like company for one reason. They invade every single thing you do. Like, if you do one thing that looks really weird, if you just, you have to act like the nicest person in the world, basically. Like, you have to act like the patientest person, and if you've been waiting for 6 hours straight for the pizza to come, you act like, where has it been? And I'm like, just be patient. I'm like, I've been patient for this entire fucking time. When am I supposed to ask, where's the pizza? Because it's been like 6 hours and it's 4 in the morning, and I've been sitting on here doing nothing, and then if I get up, they're like, sit down, you haven't been there for even that long. I'm like, yeah, I haven't been there for that long. I've only been here for like 5 or 6 hours. Like, miss, I have to stand. Like, I can't sit down. If I sat down for the rest of my life, I can't do anything. And then if they get up, you have to act like the queen of the house. Like, I swear. I'm just trying to say, some people are just annoying. I'm basically trying to say. And babies are basically just Karens, but like really small. Because every time I hear someone has a new baby and they're part of our family and they're gonna come over to celebrate, I'm like, first, I don't want to come. Wait, okay, I'm not sure what just happened there, but what I basically meant to say was, if someone wants to come over for a family gathering, what I'm going to do is sit in the room, and I don't want to walk 1 foot out when there's a baby in the house or a kid. Like, every time I hear there's an actual 7-year-old or a 3-year-old, or if they're a teenager, I'd actually be fucking terrified, because I'm like, fucking on it in my life. The only people I know is the people on my PS4 that actually do something. And video games is just not life. I'm like, well, it's life for me. And YouTubers jump out of school in 4th grade, and they're still in life with $14 million. But then if you drop out of school in freaking college on your 4th degree, at the end of college, basically. Okay, how did I die? But you drop out of college on the last second, the parents will be like, you didn't spend any time in school. You should be really ashamed of yourself. You never did anything in life. Oh yeah, I haven't did anything. I only tried to be a doctor 7 times because you told me to, Karen. And all I want to do in life is sit in front of a TV screen recording. School for me right now is useless, because all I really need to know is grammar and math, because if I want to do that, that's all I need to know in life. Spelling is basically grammar, because they're showing you words, and then they tell you what the words are, the letters are, and then you can put them together to make a freaking word. You don't need spelling. You only really need freaking math and grammar. That's all you need in life. Unless, the only reason you need math is because in case you want to change your job for some reason, you can. People usually do that, but if you're a YouTuber, I'm not sure who does sometimes. And then, if you're, you probably know why you need grammar, so you a Kendushningul, Like, you need grammar. That's really, like, if you didn't want, you knew you were not going to change your job, then you only need grammar. Like, there's really no other point. Like, who needs to know what A+4 means? Like, what the fuck is that going to mean in life? Like, you're not going to put the alphabet in numbers and say, you know what, that's a really good math problem. People are going to definitely learn stuff. Like, who's going to go to an engineering plate? Like, people say you need algebra for engineering. I'm not really sure, but like, why would you need to know A+5 when all you're going to do is just repair a car or something? And then you need math for a teacher. Like, if you're going to become a teacher, you basically need to go to school. But I'm not sure a single person who would go to, like, become a teacher except a piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably a nerd. I'm just going to say that. Because, I mean, if they're going to study every single thing in school, they probably are going to have to put it to use. And then when they grow up, they're probably going to keep doing it, which nerds are fine for me because they actually want to, like, learn school. Except I only do my homework. Like, if people want to call me a nerd, I don't care. Because the only reason I do homework is because I don't. I get punished for it. When teachers, all they do is sit around on their table putting circles around an answer you got wrong when you spent the last 6 hours on one night, and then if you get one word wrong, I'm like, word wrong, they will literally scream at you for the next 7 hours, even though you just wrote the entire Declaration of Independence 7 times in a row. They will still be mad, and then you tell me your parents to do it. I'm like, I don't need to know this. I'm like, then why should I need to know this? It's because you need to. I'm like, then if you never you never learned the Declaration of Independence, that's because my school wasn't good as yours. I'm like, boy, my school, I don't need to learn the fucking paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. I don't need to know that, miss. Like, I don't at all. Because I'm not sure whenever someone's going to go up to me and like, do you know the Declaration of Independence? Like, I don't even know someone that would go up to someone and ask them anything. I mean, the way the world is now, I really don't even go out, so I don't have to worry about it. And yeah. One more thing. If I ever meet a Karen, I'm just gonna flame them so hard, like they're gonna become a piece of shit to explosive diarrhea, because they're gonna melt so much they're going to become a minigun's bullets because of how light they are and how fast they shoot. Because I'm going to flame her so hard, the fucking fire is going to explode her and bullets, and it's going to freaking become a minigun's. But yeah, see you. I don't fucking know when.